Browns news: Shedeur Sanders gets a chilly signal at training camp. The preseason is here. With the Chargers dismantling the Lions 34-7 in the first game, teams are now racing against time to get their lineups right. And Kevin Stefanski is facing that very pressure. The Browns are set to take on the Panthers this coming Friday, and the question on everyone's mind is, who's QB1? It's now a three-way race between Kenny Pickett, Dillon Gabriel, and rookie Shedeur Sanders, with veteran Joe Flacco hanging back, for now. Though Flacco is likely to stay the backup, he's still seen as insurance in case things get rocky. Stefanski, though, isn't showing any panic. He recently told 92.3 The Fan, "I'm proud of these guys. They are fighting like crazy. We're throwing a ton at them." Stefanski also acknowledged the grind behind closed doors, saying, "They've spent a lot of time in that meeting room where you start to get into the minutiae of this position, and I think Shedeur and Dillon are really working hard." Still, the representatives speak louder than the quotes. And while the work ethic is there, the results aren't equal. Sanders hasn't risen past the third team, while Gabriel continues to eat into first-team representatives as Pickett battles a hamstring issue. Flacco, meanwhile, looks like the leader, even without the label. Moreover, Friday's 11-on-11s confirmed the pecking order. As per Underdog NFL, Joe Flacco got Lions' share of work with first string. Dillon Gabriel split time with first and second string. Shedeur Sanders worked with second and third string. Kenny Pickett, hamstring, limited to individual work, 1-on-1s. In short, the chilly signal for Sanders isn't just figurative, it's factual. Looking ahead, this four-man standoff has made the Browns one of the most watched teams this offseason. And with no clear QB1 yet, the way Stefanski handles this could shape not only 2025, but the franchise's next chapter. However, one Browns legend already has advice in hand. Shedeur Sanders' patience may be the Browns' best play yet. To be fair, Cleveland's been down this road before. Quarterback uncertainty has become as familiar in the dog pound as tailgating at the Muni lot. And once again, the Browns are weighing development versus desperation. Legendary QB Bernie Kosar isn't sitting this one out either. He recently joined 92.3 The Fan and made one thing clear: Shedeur Sanders is turning heads, but patience should still be the priority. In fact, Kosar couldn't hide his respect for the rookie's work ethic. "I love how Sanders, is handling stuff. He's out here an hour early. That's working out stuff, and then he's one of the last guys here signing autographs and all that," Kosar said, a nod not just to Sanders' grind, but also his humility. And he didn't just praise the Colorado kid. Kosar tipped his hat to Dillon Gabriel too, saying the Oklahoma product has been picking up the system with some serious sharpness. Still, Kosar was quick to point out that competition alone isn't enough. The Browns' QB carousel over the past decade has taught him a lesson: don't rush it. "We kill more quarterbacks by putting them in there early," he said. So instead of throwing young arms into the fire, Kosar believes the Browns might be better off dialing things back. A modified approach might be better for the long-term health of the team and the quarterback, he suggested. And when it comes from the guy who last led Cleveland to consistent playoff relevance, that advice hits different. Now, with Week 1 creeping closer and no starter named, the Browns must choose between fast results or future returns. And if they listen to Bernie, Shedeur's time will come, just not yet. The temperature in Berea, Ohio, sat at a balmy 82 degrees, but for Shedeur Sanders, the air at Browns training camp felt cold. Not physically, psychologically. What was supposed to be a pivotal moment in the rookie quarterback's rise began to feel like an icy shoulder from the very organization that drafted him. All week, Shedeur had stayed sharp in drills. He arrived early, stayed late, and even pulled a few of the rookie receivers aside to run extra routes after practice. The work ethic wasn't the issue. The buzz. It was there. The arm strength. Still electric. But something felt off. On Friday, the chill became undeniable. The signal. As the team huddled for 11-on-11s, quarterbacks coach Alex Van Pelt huddled briefly with head coach Kevin Stefanski. A few words were exchanged. A nod. Then Van Pelt turned to the quarterback line, Deshaun Watson, then Dillon Gabriel, and then Shedeur. Representatives go, 1, 2, repeat. "Got it," Van Pelt said. Shedeur froze for a second. That meant he was being pulled out of the rotation. Gabriel, a fellow rookie, drafted just 2 rounds earlier, was getting full backup representatives behind Watson. Shedeur, regulated to clipboard duty for the session. He didn't protest. Didn't flinch. He just nodded. But inside, the chill hit hard. The puzzle. Shedeur had heard whispers. Talk in the locker room. Analysts on Twitter questioning if Cleveland really had a plan for him, or if drafting him was a flashy move to cash in on Deion Sanders' fame. But he wanted to believe in the system. In the Browns. Now, with Gabriel getting a dozen plays to show off his timing, and Shedeur stuck with a headset and a laminated play sheet, reality started to hit. This might not be his team. Not yet. Maybe not ever. Television. The sideline view. NFL Network was on site that day, filming highlights for Inside Camp Live. Cameras zoomed in on Watson leading huddles, Gabriel throwing zippy slants. But when the lens passed Shedeur, it didn't linger. He was in the background, like a backup to the backup. Tony Grossi, watching from the media tent, whispered to another reporter, "They're cooling on him already. Kid better heat up fast, or he'll be running scout team before September." It wasn't a jab. It was a warning. Full mailbox with raised flag message received. Shedeur knew what it was, a message. Not a benching. Not a punishment. But a signal. A chilly one. The NFL doesn't hand out chances just because your father's a Hall of Famer. It doesn't care how many followers you have on Instagram or how many nil deals you had at Colorado. The league is brutal, especially for rookie quarterbacks. Especially for fifth-rounders. You prove it every single day, or they move on. The flashback. Later that evening, back at the hotel, Shedeur stared at the ceiling. He remembered a conversation with his dad just before the draft. You want the league to respect you? Earn it. Every rep, every meeting, every down. And when they ignore you, let that be your fuel. This was fuel. Repeat button. The response. The next morning, before sunrise, Shedeur was already on the field with rookie wideout Jamari Watson. No coaches. No cameras. Just Shedeur, a bag of footballs, and a determination as cold and sharp as the message he'd received. He didn't say a word about the rep shuffle. Didn't complain. But his throws. Crisp. Clean. Purposeful. He knew the only way to warm things back up was by outworking the chill.